Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Monday, November 5th, 9:14 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. What we're looking at together is the GFS model from 6 hours ago of total snowfall, extending all the way down into central Mississippi in Arkansas. Now, this is unprecedented, because these areas typically rarely get snow, even after December 31st. The light blue areas here are December 16th through the 31st. Northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, northern Georgia. After mid-December is the average time they receive snow. Are you picking up what we're putting down? Here are the facts. Vail Mid-Mountain, November 5th, 2018, 15 inches. Yesterday, today, now, for me, tomorrow for you. Can you believe what we're seeing? I can't. 15 inches, Vail Mid-Mountain, one of the top snowfalls for this time of year. You have just entered the effing awesome classroom, AKA the boom room. Buckle your seatbelts, kids. You're about to learn something. Rockies digging out. Snow continues for the Northwest. The stormy pattern over the Northwest and the Rockies brought snow from Canada to New Mexico, and the deepest totals are by far are in the northern Colorado area, 10 to 20 inches. The same region will see light snow throughout the day today. Let's check out the totals here. They're loving it in Loveland. That's a full footer. Now let's check out the forecast models. Heavy snow in northern Kansas. Let's blow it up. Blowing it up. Monday the 5th through Friday. This is your 5-day. Heavy snows in Kansas. Central Missouri. Moving through what appears to be most of Michigan, and eastern Canada is going to get buried. Heavy snow in northern Idaho and western Montana especially. We're going to be picking up snows in western Wyoming up to a foot, and more up to a foot in Colorado. And those are the facts, thanks to Joel Gratz. And here is Saturday, Sunday, the weekend model. The snows are going to be, look at the weekend snow totals in BC. Holy macaroni. Eastern Canada going to continue to pick up snow. North Dakota, a little bit in eastern Montana for the weekend. So your weekend's going to be epic skiing in all the areas that got snow. If we go to the extended forecast, it's looking like a grand solar minimum forecast, as we predicted. As you're seeing, before we even enter winter, the Northeast is 7 degrees below normal for thousands of square miles. The same area that time immemorial glacial ice begins building. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, New York, Maine, the Maritimes, freezing your arses off through November 16th. And that's tonight's first boom with a wiggle, because we like to jiggle. 4 minutes, 9 seconds in. Can you even handle the suspense of what's coming up? I'll tell you what's coming up. Avalanche warnings. We've had 4 avalanches in the last 5 days in Colorado. This one just kicking off 48 hours ago in the high country above 11,000. 2 skiers, one traversing this area, kicked off this shelfer. He got buried halfway and dug himself out, thankfully. No loss of life yet, but this type of avalanche warning this early is unprecedented. Hasn't been seen since 2010 in this area. Last solar minimum. Whew, I hope you caught that. I'm not whispering for my own good. Let's check the Weather Ready Nation map. Severe thunderstorms, excessive rain threat. A strong cold front is triggering severe Thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley, as we've been predicting for days. In the south this evening into the overnight hours, these storms are capable of producing damaging winds and tornadoes. 356 counties currently in tornado watch in 5 states. This is serious shit, kids. Only couple counties lit up in red. Those are current tornado warnings. Orange are heavy thunderstorm warnings and watches. Click on your county to get out of harm's way. And if you live in a trailer, you're totally fluxed. Guaranteed if you're in the red zone. In a whirlwind. So get out of Dodge. Please heed these warnings. Come over to weather.gov. Click on your county where it's red, just like I pushed the button, and get the info that you need to survive. Do not get sucked up while you're sucking up your Marlboro Light, man. You get sucked up into that vortex. The dog, Toto, gets sucked out the window, and you're going to be on the Channel 10 news. Here's tornado watches, flood warnings, severe weather statements, and on for Memphis, Tennessee. I can barely see. Severe thunderstorms up in Corinth. We've had warnings in Clarksdale and Centerville and whatever. There is the line moving through. Epic. Front, look at the supercells developing here. Holy macaroni. Let's look at the local radar. We are totally engulfed. Oxford, you look like you're fluxed. This plugin is not supported. Holy shite. We're doing this live. That's so embarrassing. Let's look at the GFS model and walk it through for you kids that want to know where this snow may come. Here we are through Thursday and Friday. Friday, the big dump starts hitting Kansas. Holy Shanzas. Say it ain't a Pansis. None of those are words. I just love rhyming. Take a look at this model. This is November 11th. End of the weekend, we're going to see snows in the Texas Panhandle, down in the south, Tennessee, areas that shouldn't see snow. And then this model is predicting 3 feet of snow in western PA, western Maryland. Holy shanoli. Look at the lake effect here in the Finger Lakes region. 18 to 22 inches by your November 15th. And kids, if you're not good at math, that's 6 weeks before winter starts. And I don't even fart live on air. But I do wiggle when I hold a fish. Whew. Holy shish. This is your fall in North America. Deal with it. Ow! Here are the average snowfall firsts. So if we're talking fall here, you're looking for this purple here. So snow should only be falling up above this region. Now we have snow coming all the way down into hello. Oh, the southeast. It's the beast. Now let's let some reality set in here. Of all things.
Times in Britain warns.
This guy is from Sky News Australia. And wait till you hear what he has to say.
It's time for Outsiders Weather and the Skeptics Ice Age Watch, where autumn in the Northern Hemisphere has mysteriously vanished been replaced 6 weeks earlier than it should be with winter. The Times in Britain warns of a chilly November and that temperatures will be below normal. Indeed, snow has already been seen in higher parts of Scotland and northeast England, and the hilly areas of the Pennines woke up to a wintry blanket. And a winter wonderland is in the middle of so-called autumn befell North Yorkshire, with the residents of Guisborough finding winter has come 6 weeks earlier than expected, with a dusting of white covering the streets and rooftops. Meanwhile, in Canada, things are getting a little crazy, according to one blogger, as Environment Canada issue a snow and freezing rain warning for Quebec. On Friday, they issued a special weather alert for regions including most of Quebec. A low-pressure system is going to be dumping snow, ice and pellets and freezing rain. And speaking of the freezing cold, according to the climate skeptic website Principia Scientific International, the Arctic and Antarctic sea ice is now at historic high levels. Hang on, I thought Al Gore said the ice caps were vanishing. but apparently not.
Oh!
According to an article published last week, biomarker proxies used to reconstruct both Arctic and Antarctic sea ice conditions since the early Holocene reveal that today's sea ice changes are not only not unusual, but there is more extensive Arctic and Antarctic sea ice during recent decades than there has been for nearly all of the last 10,000 years. Indeed,
I love that guy. We love that guy.
Principia Scientific, go.
Suck it. I don't care what he says now, so I'm going to erase him. But that was some good news coming from Sky News, Australia, where the bomb exists, where they totally are pissed about global warming and all that shite. So the bomb can suck it, and that guy totally rocks. Ski season starts a month early in the Alps, thanks to heavy global warming. Al, are you reading this? Electroverse is the tits, man. I love this shit. Look at that guy. He's totally ripping. That's above 11,000. Many ski resorts in the Alps have opened a month ahead of schedule as record-breaking snowstorms for the third year in a row leave the region buried in global warming goodness in the form of white. Winter white. He said it wouldn't happen, and it's happening in epic proportions. Record conditions in the last 100 years everywhere. More than 3 meters of snow has fallen in the southern Swiss and northern Italian Alps this week, and there's more on the way. You know how I know? Because there's a fucking video right here, man. Go check it out. Links below. Download this baby. I got some treats in store for you, so stick with us through the podcast. Early season snowstorm isolates Kashmir Valley, causes major power outages in India. Right, and my very best friend in northern India has experienced violent start to the winter. Over the past couple of days, with the first snowfall in the season, disrupting the power supply, road links, and isolating the Kashmir Valley. This is where some of the most kick-ass climbers are all stuck. Now sipping tea and Turkish coffee in their tents because they can't get anywhere. The region typically sees its first snowfall between the months of December and February, but it's just the beginning of November. And at least 700 people were evacuated from Jahar Tunnel and Somang, stranded due to inclement weather and snowfall in Jammu and Kashmir, authorities reported on the 4th. Over 1,000 civilians provided food and shelter in Banihal, while Kashmir Valley remains cut off from the rest of the country for the second day on November 4th, after heavy snowfall led to the closure of the national highway. They got camels, they got horses, they got Clydesdales, and they do have a YouTube channel apparently. Yeah, the J and K Somark Valley receives fresh snowfall. They got great music. Holy shinoli. Okay, we gotta parse this. Let's go back. Month early. He doesn't even have gloves. But he is playing to Allah. We're doing yoga. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. Please don't demonetize me. They've monetized their channel. We'll just shut it down. After fresh snow spell, Sonmarg turned as the white blanket. Oh! It's a blanket of the white. I love it. I love it. Strap on your snowboard and get killed in an avalanche. Boom! Do it. Yeah, that's how we do it. We do it wide. We do it big. We go big here. Go big. Tourists enjoyed the beautiful view. It seemed to excite while people were starving and cut off because there was no shit getting up the mountain. And hopefully someone had pot. Boom! Yes, let's get rid of that. After rain and snowfall, state reels under extreme cold wave. Just not up in the Kashmir. They freezing their arse off. Shimla, November 5th. After 3 days of long rain and snowfall in the state, normal life is out of gear. Can you read that? That's a bad translation, but normal life is out of gear. And we're not talking a gear queer. We're talking real gear. You know, near bear or whatever. As the extremely cold wave is keeping the mercury several degrees low from normal. I can't even translate that. However, it is 2 degrees and 4 here, according to this non-sentence, and 2 degrees below normal at the Kapla Kinor -1. But Keelong and Larouche Piti was low at -3. And that's cold. Jiggling. I mean, that's fish freezing cold. -3 with those barely run-on sentences. You want to talk about run-on sentences? Let's talk about obfuscating from the truth. The U.S. downgrade service is totally lying to you. If you think this is what the seismic activity on the Ring of Fire is, you have been sadly mistaken. Most of the volcanoes that we're waiting for uptick is right in this region where I'm circling. And who would be the number one source of keeping you in your place and not telling you what's actually happening? That would be the U.S. Geological Survey. Now, what you can see here from Panama all the way up to the U.S. is 3 quakes of 4 magnitude or greater. Let's look them through. 4.5, Puerto Trifuno. 4.4, Ajulata. And a 4.4 in Mateo del Mar in Mexico. You want to know the facts? The facts are that the USGS is full of shit. In fact, there have been 18 4 magnitude or greater earthquakes in just the last 24 hours. I'll leave you links to this. It's totally mind-boggling why they're not telling us about these quakes, except if you consider what I just said, there has actually been 70 quakes of 3 magnitude or greater in the last 24 hours in this region. Yeah, 3 to 5 magnitude. That is an uptick of global magmatic proportion. And the reason the USGS is not reporting on it is because they do not want you to know the facts. The facts are that Central America and that bottleneck down there is very significant because this is a multiple plate boundary, which hypothetically has to do with plate tectonics, but has everything to do with volcanism and the cooling of the planet. And this is the magma moving under that region. It is epic. And I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this, especially because there were 17 4 magnitude or greater earthquakes in the last 24 hours in Mexico alone. And that's through Baja. None of which are on this map, which is total crap. Boom with a wiggle. I love exposing these frauds. If you want to know some facts about your future and you live in the Northwest, bear with us. We're talking about a Cascadia Tsunami. Don't call your mommy. You either move out or be prepared. Now, the Cascadia subduction zone is 1,200 kilometers long and goes all the way up into Canada. In January 1700, the zone suffered one of the largest ruptures in recent memory. How do we know? Because the tsunami effects show up everywhere, from tree rings to shore deposits in Japan, man. They're in the peat and soil pits in the northwest of the U.S., but they are global. This baby rocked the entire Ring of Fire. And that's basically a funeral pyre, because the majority of the population when this baby went off was on the coast, and they lost the most. 312 years later, we are now overdue for a 7 magnitude, an 8 magnitude, and a 9 magnitude on the rupture zone. So if you're not ready, you're toast, aka a ghost. Because this water pile is going to go up the coast at least 30 to 90 feet. And in areas that are on floodplains and low-lying areas, there's a secondary effect. It's called the double split tsunami. It happens when a huge rupture right on a land surface causes the standing wave to split. And that has to do with hydrodynamics. And here you can see the wave splitting. And people on the coast totally shitting because they're going to be washed to their death. There is no reaction time here. It's not like, you're dead. What are you going to do? Grab like the passport and run up to the roof? Doubt it. The safest place you can live is on a cliff, 1,000 feet up. You'll be able to watch it because it will literally displace the tsunami and bounce it off at about 90 feet. But if you live in a shallow area, this causes the wave to build. And you're going to be hit with a standing wave filled with dead bodies. That's what the disgusting thing is. This is filled with dead bodies in houses, and it crushes you to death because it's filled with debris. You can't swim out of it. You can't escape this rupture when it occurs. The only way you can escape is if you live high. I recommend 500 or 1,000 feet above sea level, where the slope approaching your property is very steep if you're close to the ocean. And then you could be safe. All other low-lying areas are completely going to be inundated, and it will be a nightmare. You don't even want to go there. The worst part of living in this area is you're going to have to deal with millions of dead people floating around and the stench after this catastrophe. You're going to have a huge debris field for looting, and you'll be able to live for decades, if not centuries, on the crap that these people bought from Walmart. So that is a definite advantage if you're in the right spot when this baby kicks off. Check out the links below if you want to know more. Be prepared, not scared. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance when millions of people are about to die and rot in the valley below you. Worldwide volcano news update. Sabancaya and Abico. Nothing much. We had space weather kicking up recently, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But we did have an eruption at Abico, 5th one in 5 days. So this is a definite uptick, and we're going to be watching this area closely. Abico can only erupt at VEI 2 or 3 historically. So we'll watch it. 18 hours ago, plasma wind speed peaked at about 600 kilometers per second, maybe 620. It's dropped off since then. And we've come out of geomagnetic storm as the phi angle has shifted back to sun to earth. We've taken back the planet, and we're out of geomagnetic storm. We only went to G2 18 hours ago, as I predicted last night that we would come up. Yes, we did. And now we're going to go back off. So all is quiet on the Western Front. However, we do have a sunspot rotating, Earth-facing, and it is causing a little bit of X-ray flux. So we're going to watch that tomorrow. Watch the update for more news. Has global warming already arrived? Yes. It peaked in 2016 after that El Nino. The solar max is over. And more importantly, this paper coming out this week from Elsevier Physics. The global warming during 1978 to now was not more enhanced at higher latitudes near the surface. The intrinsic properties of the lower stratospheric temperature are not related to those in the troposphere. N3, the results obtained do not reveal the global warming occurrence because it's not happening. What's happening is a natural climate cycle that we've dropped off of. Here we are at the UAH satellite-based temperature of the global lower atmosphere. And we're going to blow it up, just like we blow up this channel on a daily basis. Boom! Where's my otter? Holy shotter. Hey, have you seen the no snowplow? I want to release it today. This thing kicks ass and takes names. Boom! That is the snowplow of the future. It's plowing cars currently, but it is... I mean, imagine this in the zombie apocalypse. I think it's a jiggle. Stick with us, kids. It's going to get better. The UAH satellite-based temperatures of the global lower atmosphere coming from the University of Alabama, Huntsville, do not lie. And they show a 0.8 degrees C drop since February 2016. which should lead you to be shitting your pants because that hasn't happened since 1998. And our predictions suggest that this is going to drop below baseline and go below 1985 averages in just 2 years. 2 years. That's just 2 of these squares over here. Boom, boom. And what that leads to is collapse of society, global famine, unrest, the collapse of the stock market, a pack of cigarettes costing $483, and the shit hitting the fan. But if you're prepared, you can wiggle like an otter with a fish, especially if you bought the new snowplow, because this shit is for real. And that's a boom. So is the graph from UAH. Thank you, University of Alabama, Huntsville. I swear to God, I could do this all day. Very bright north Taurid Meteor over Spain. Did you hear? If you didn't hear, I'm about to do a video tomorrow on the Taurid Meteor stream, which I believe, aka Comet Enki, has everything to do with cosmic catastrophe in the past. And it may lead to a cosmic catastrophe in November 11th of this year, or next year, or the year after. But we'll get to it in the video. So make sure you watch the video on the Taurids and Comet Enki that I release tomorrow that will blow your fucking mind and make you wiggle like an otter with a fish or buy a new snowplow, whichever you choose. A very bright North Taurid meteor event was spotted over the south of Spain at 2346 UTC on November 2nd. That's just 3 days ago. The meteor was brighter than the full fucking moon. You know how bright that is? Well, go outside and look at the full moon and you'll know that it was brighter than that thing that you looked at. If you don't know where the moon is, when it's dark out at night, it's the bright glowing thing that's usually up in the sky. So go out, and if you're blinded by a thing that's bright and round, it's the moon. Boom! There it is. And this is a Taurid meteor. And now you're going to glean some information on this in a moment. Oh, that's a different angle. Here you see Taurus, and it emanating from there, shooting down through Orion. Now, look at the angle of this baby. This is what we're going to talk about in my video. These Taurids can come straight in. Now, if this hits the ocean, oh, that could spur some motion in the form of a tsunami, like as big as your mommy. So this baby fell. Thankfully, it discharged maybe 10 kilometers above the surface. And then a molten nugget from the central core of the discharge fell to Earth. I don't know if you saw it, but we'll watch it again. And I'll let you see that molten core fall to Earth. Discharge, molten core. So you see the little drip there? Watch it. Molten core. Little drip. So that's going to drop the little turd onto Earth, which we call meteorite. See that little turd right there? That's the best view. Let me give you a little... Watch this. You can actually, I extended the screen for you. Watch the little turd drop out. Oh, there. So that's the meteorite. It's not a fright. It's a meteorite. It's just the justice of it. And look at the angle that this comes in at. So this one vaporized, but maybe some incoming objects in the next day or 2 or 10 days, because the Taurids aren't going to peak to the 11th to the 15th of November. The North Taurids, they're a split stream. We'll get to that, but they come in at a steep angle sometimes. And if a big one comes in and hits the ocean, oh my goodness, we could have some party effects, definitely. I hate Facebook. And that's a boom. Wiggle boom. Let's get rid of this. Holy macaroni. Let's get back to the facts, kids. You're about to have a great time. Do not leave the podcast till the end. Season extending techniques means fresh tastes longer. Do you know what that means? I'm going to tell you what it means because I'm a farmer. I'm a permaculture farmer. It means that if you have winter crops or any crops, root crops, if you get them in there right now and it's been freezing for now 7 weeks here, every night below 30, sometimes down to 19, Those crops, including brassicas above the surface, they sweeten up. What do I mean by that? I was just outside this morning, and for breakfast, I was eating arugula. Wild arugula that we have now spreading through this one area. It is amazing. There is no pepper, sweet and delicious. Same for carrots, same for potatoes, all your ground. Oh man, I can't say enough. Rutabagas, turnips, leave them in the ground. Just because the cooler weather is moving into Oklahoma doesn't mean gardening enthusiasts have to give up their fresh taste of homegrown produce. When in fact, if you leave the crops in the ground, they taste better. But you can also extend your crops. Come over to the Oppenheimer Ranch Preparedness store and check out our season extenders. Now, the video's not over, kids, so do not leave the podcast. We're going to have a whole bunch more after I talk about this stuff that you need to get. If you need season extenders, we have clutches, we have high tunnels, row tunnels, all very affordable, the most affordable in the country, in the world, if you can get them shipped to you. So come check these out. These are season extenders. Here is a $150 high tunnel. Heinrich Butenhuis, this is basically his greenhouse. And that's a Heinrich Butenhuis boom. He's in Denmark, and he basically grows all year. So if you don't grow all year, you can suck it because you're not trying. I did spend about 4 hours tonight researching more thermal imagers because I'm going to buy one. And I've added the ones I'm going to buy to the store. In fact, I'm buying the number 1 and 2 product. The Best Guard Night Vision Binoc 4.5, 22.5 by 40 HD digital infrared accelerated video sound 4-inch 1280p. This is the Shiznit. There's a $300 model here. Either one I recommend. These are all getting 5 stars, and this is the cutting edge technology. This cost $3,000 2 years ago, and you can buy it now for $339. This is the way to go if you want night vision, video, photo, day, night, accentuated, just like just like you're an owl. This is owl vision. You plug it right in your computer. It takes video. And if you live in Africa, you can even take a picture of a Bengal tiger, apparently. Check it out. It's in the store. Friend of the channels is struggling right now, guys. Let's all step up to the plate. Stop donating to the channel. Buy this book. Tamara Wilding, author. She has many books. This is her most recent one. The Little Book of the Great Onion. It came out a little over a year ago. $3.50 on Kindle. $10. Get you the paperback. You can mail it back to Tamara and she'll sign it and you'll send it back to you. Why? Because I just said that. I guarantee she'll do it. But more importantly, she's in a financial bind and she needs people to buy this book. It gets 5 stars and it's a 70-page book, nonfiction. I mean, it's fiction. A shamanic journey into the nature of truth. It's her interpretation. Come with me as I explain my opinion and experience of the world. It's a shamanic journey. So if you like to read books, buy this. Consider it a donation to me, to the channel, to one of our viewers that needs your support. I'll leave links below. Check out the book. Please. And that's a wiggle. Fish wiggle. And a zombie plow boom. Holy macaroni, I'm getting 5 of those plows. Get the book. Get 5 of them. Now, let's get to the good part of the video and the podcast. A friend of mine, back when I was organizing the March Against Monsanto in 2012, he had a band, and it's called PTP is Here. And I think it's important that you listen to this track because it is very poignant. Now, he cut this track 3 years ago for me and my march, and for him and his band. But the powers that be do not want you to hear this. And this shit is not copyright.
With hopes that you're listening. Voice of America, I'm speaking from the citizens. Tired of the lies, all the false narratives. For us to survive, we must stand up as Americans. Need to alter the course that's been written. It's history, not his story. They mix it in with fiction. Behind the scene decisions, you're blind to see the visions. Freedom isn't free, society is prison. Fed up, but won't let up. There's no more room for mess ups. The administration's a bit outrageous. I think it's time we step up. How about I check off the definition of evil? Pay millions to bomb countries, but can't feed our own people. These countries don't even pose threats. Can Congress or progress? Syria, no GMOs left. Rothschilds want their own checks. Pipelines to control next. How many more lives will drones get? It's 7 countries, 5 years destabilized. No sweat.
Stick with me, kids.
I have a voice with hopes that you're listening. Voice of America, I'm speaking from the citizens. Political smokescreen, they're giving you nothing, no hope streams. I have children, where are they going? World War III, to grow up in that era is something that we don't want. The thought of that should scare ya. To cause an act, prepare ya. No thought, just facts that flares up. Post-flag attacks won't spare ya. They bury ya, no care for ya. The credibility's been gone. The peace prize you sit on, you're pissing in a windstorm. Give it back, it's been gone. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands. It's not about homegrown radical terrorists, more like brainwashing, driving fear in Americans. Many are sleeping, unaware of this, believing MSM, they're sheep. Now I'm very pissed. What about us? The dollar is decreasing. We can't afford to live, but this problem is a peace thing. The power of the people is no secret. Look at Egypt. What do we get? No respect, because our free debt has interest. The preset is business. So banks never lose when they risk it. Just create more and lend it. So we take more because we spend it. Let's brainstorm for a second. Why do we support this? We're too nice, we forgive. Let's take back this fortress and secure it before it crumbles down to nothing. Stand tall, take the ball, don't fumble now, keep running. Not elected, they're selected. The president sits breastfed, and if they go against the agenda, well, you know they get dead. Look at the bigger picture. They make moves to get richer and sit back and laugh at events like Benghazi. Don't talk about conspiracies, shadow governments and Nazis. They catch wind, their heads spin. Now you're in the hot seat. These colors don't run, my flag flies high. Second Amendment says my gun is mine till I die. First Amendment says my lungs let me breathe for my speech. Speak truth, no sweet tooth, sugar coatings for the weak. Impeachment for treason, no reason, because we can. What you're seeing, the agreement, no more bleeding. Defeating these demons, keep shining, believing. We're weakened, but we're still here. Your neighbors, don't leave them. Your rights, need to read them. We're human and we need to love each other. All around the earth, I walk on dirt. Treat me like your brother. I love you, please love me. We all should love our freedom. But answer this one question, can you tell?
Those are the facts, kids. The facts are in. It's time to get the plow. Be safe. We love you.